Pacific route also dominates UNODC's drug seizure statistics, with Colombia 37%, Ecuador 8.8%, and Panama, god damn it, not Panama, and Panama 4.2%, as the countries in the region with the largest quantity of cocaine hydrochloride.
Mama!
Ay, 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 chat. No way. Not Panama. Not Panama, please.
No!
Venezuela ranks 6th amongst Latin American countries in terms of seizures with less than 2%. Do we really need to finish reading this whole thing? He says, we're going to get Panama next. I mean, they're eyeing that Panama Canal. They probably will. They probably will. He says that canal is critical. I don't think we need to read the rest of this. I've read enough to realize that I don't think that this is even a real article, bro. I don't think that this fucking cartel even exists. Does Cartel de los Soles exist? Cartel de los Soles per se doesn't exist. It's a journalistic expression created to refer to the involvement of Venezuelan authorities in drug trafficking. Phil Gunson, a researcher with the International Crisis Group based in Caracas for more than a decade, told CNN. Oh my God, bro. This whole thing is just made up full cloth. This doesn't mean that there aren't military personnel or government officials involved in drug trafficking. The cartels are here, the Colombians and the Mexicans too. There are drug shipments via the Orinoco River and by air through clandestine airstrips, flights from Apure to Central America, and so on. All of this wouldn't be possible without the direct involvement from above, the expert said. For Gunson, Maduro's role in is reminiscent of that of the former Panamanian president Muriel Noriega, who was sentenced to decades in prison in various jurisdictions for his association with the Medellin cartel in 1992. An external partner who, while not directly part of the cartel, still benefited from drug trafficking routes under his protection. Other independent analysts from the intelligence website Insight Crime shared the same analysis. Cartel de los Soles is the term used to describe the shadowy group within the Venezuelan army involved in a wide range of criminal activities. It is not a hierarchical group, but rather a loose network of cells that operate as drug trafficking organizations, a report from the site states. Oh my goodness. He says, the real Noriega, he says he owed me 100 favors. You know what the crazy thing is? So, guys, this is why in life, when it comes to the news, you can't just blindly believe what the government tells you on TV. And the sad thing is, how many people do you think have gone and done some research like what we're doing tonight, read up on these cartels to find out what's actually going on? Most people don't. Most people won't even take the first step of going to like CNN's website or going to Al Jazeera or going to any platform and reading to find out what's real and what's not real, what's happening and what's not happening. Most people just watch cable news. On cable news, they tell them what they want to hear, or they tell them a very shallow interpretation of what's going on, and they go on with their day. If I had not done research here, I would not even know that Cartel de los Soles is not even a real cartel. It's just a name they made up. He says everyone else around him is doing it, but he's not. I mean, Kanai, he might have some involvement with some cartel in Colombia or one of those other countries, but they are making it sound like the drugs are being produced and trafficked out of Venezuela, which from what I'm reading sounds like it's not true. And even if it is, sorry, I'm getting tongue tied here. Even if it is true, it's less than 8% of the drugs coming into America. From what I'm reading in this article, the real problem is Colombia. It's not Venezuela, it's Colombia. And from what I'm reading in this article, the drugs leaving Colombia are not going through the Caribbean. They're going through the Pacific Ocean. Venezuela is on the Caribbean side. And that makes sense. It makes sense. Why would they go through the Caribbean? Why would they go through the Caribbean? So what essentially is happening here is they're leaving Colombia, right? They're leaving Colombia. Let me zoom in a little bit here so you guys can see this map a little better. Oh my God. Not what I wanted to do. Open the image in a tab. Let's see if we can open this image. Here we go. So essentially what's happening here is, look, you got South America, the South American continent. You got Central America. You got North America. What essentially is happening is the drugs are being produced in Ecuador, Peru, and Colombia, which makes sense because those are the countries with the climate. Those are the countries with the climate to produce coca, right? High elevate. These countries, for those of you who don't know, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Chile, this is all mountainous range. This is high altitude mountainous terrain. Perfect for growing coca. The coca gets produced in these countries that are all on the Pacific of the continent, right?